Lord of Quito. The warriors of Puna have allied with HUÁSCAR, and they are continually coming to attack us. Now that we are part of your army, let us cross the gulf to their island. The Punas and the Quitos fought, and Atahualpa was injured. He abandoned the island, leaving 600 Tumbesinos. The Punas, under their Curaca Tumbala, disembarked in Tumbes, and they ransacked the town. However, not everything was lost for the Quitos. The island of Puna and Tumbes were not a great loss for Atahualpa. He knew that he had to fight HUÁSCAR in the Andes, where victory would have to be decided in the Cordilleras and not on the coast. Attack! My Inca general, Atahualpa, has lost in Puna and he has abandoned Tumbes. You should go and defeat the Quito lord with the help of the Canaris. The general of HUÁSCAR departed to Tumabamba, confident that he would be victorious. The Quitos fought HUÁSCAR's general attack. Atahualpa, we have lost against the Cuzcos and their Canaris accomplices. Chalco Chima. Prepare my troops. I personally will apprehend my half-brother Atak, and castigate his Canaris allies. The Inca general lost. Sepa Inca, the Canaris have sent you an envoy from the north. Let them in. Great HUÁSCAR. We have lost to Atahualpa. Your brother Atak and our Curaca leader have been taken prisoners. We are at risk for allying with you. Go back, tell your people that Atak's expedition was not intended to be a full-scale war against Atahualpa. Since the conflict has degenerated into an all-out war, I will send my great Inca general Huanca Aki to rejoin the retreating troops of Atak. In this trip to the past, I have my first encounter the enigmatic Lord of the North. Atahualpa, I don't know under what title to address you. Man of the future, I am the Lord of Quito. I know that you have spent some time with HUÁSCAR, and you are with him. I am not siding with either one of you, but I am concerned that both of you are fighting while strangers are on their way to conquer the empire. Oh! You are referring to the bearded men. They have come and gone long time ago. Atahualpa, the people from the old world are returning to invade your lands. Nonsense. Have this chicha to celebrate our first meeting. Atahualpa, this is a human skull. I am not going to drink from such a vase, even if it is lined with gold. Kunter soul, this was Atak's skull. You may want to use the remains of your enemies as a sign of revenge. But using your brother's skull for that purpose is something that I can't comprehend. To hell with the Incas. Our future is in these northern lands. Cuzco is too far, and too distant in our hearts. Atahualpa, I am afraid that I will have to meet you again when your arrogance is chained to the new masters. You will be the last Inca who could have been king, and with you our hopes will be vanished forever. My first meeting with the Lord of Quito had ended. He was muscular, and had a petrious face and bloodshot eyes. His conversation was detached. Someone had to do the talking for him, so as not to face the person who was addressing to him. Unlike HUÁSCAR, who was sociable. Probably because he had never been exposed to the harshness of the elements and the cruelties of war. Huanca Aki. We are losing. Atak is dead. The Canaris are our strong allies' fear for their own survival. Take all the warriors you can muster and go north to avenge the death of our brother. Help will never be farther than where you are. Sepa Inca, I fear that my bad luck is greater than my desire to do the best for you. His new general left to the north. HUÁSCAR, you are not different than Atahualpa when it comes to doing away with your brothers. In the end, both of you are going to lose everything. Can't you understand that? Man of the future. As long as Atahualpa is alive, I don't care if it costs me the empire to get rid of him. Huanca Aki left Cuzco with his captains Huaca Meta and Awapandi. He had explicit orders to fight Atahualpa in Quito. Once he reached Tumabamba, he stayed there, instead of continuing to Quito as he was ordered by HUÁSCAR. Lord of Quito, Huanca Aki, Huáscar's new general, is in the north and he wants to negotiate with you. Chalco Chima, should I go to him? No, great Atahualpa. The Incas are exhausting themselves by coming north. This is the time to take Tumabamba and advance to Cuzco. Contorsol, I might still be able to avert a war. After all, you are for negotiations. Yes, Huanca Aki. But you have come as a man of war and not as an ambassador. Do you think that Atahualpa is going to come without an army, after what Huáscar did to his emissaries? Man of the future, that is why I have to negotiate from strength, and fight if I have to. The pact did not take place, the Quitos surprised them. Huanca Aki retreated to Cuzabamba to reorganize and prevent the Quitos from marching to Cajamarca. Atahualpa took Tumabamba, killing many of the Canaris. In anger, Huáscar sent women's clothes to his 3 captains for losing the war. Without the Canaris as their allies, Huanca Aki stood alone in the north, unless the Chachapoyas took Huáscar's cause. History is confusing at this point. The opposing parties took a reprieve, perhaps to form alliances or to tend to their fields. After some time, Atahualpa's generals began their relentless persecution of Huáscar's forces. Meanwhile, 4 months into their 3rd expedition, the Spaniards had covered 2/3 the distance to Tums. Settling in Coque, close to the equinoctial line. Don Francisco, I see that you are finally going to fulfill your destiny and seal the fate of the Incas. Man of the future. This time I am an Hidalgo, and I will be the governor of Nueva Castilla. Don Francisco, remember that I am a man of the Americas. Titles mean nothing to me, even if given by kings. For glory is fleeting, and one's actions have to be reconciled with our conscience and not by the adulation of someone or the masses. Condor soul, that is what we Spaniards live for, sometimes poor but with titles, and if rich, so much the better. We respect your idiosyncrasies. Do the descendants from the old world respect ours? I know you have plenty of reasons to be angry for what we did or are about to do in this encounter. After we commended our souls to the Lord, on January 20, 1531, we left Panama on our 3rd expedition in 3 ships with 180 men, 50 horses, and hundreds of ferocious dogs. Leave the Almighty alone. He is not a partner in the carnage that you plan to commit. Otherwise he would not be God, would he?